welcome back to Food Aspire Home and Garden. Today we're going to make gluten-free pretzels. What can I say? So I got my bag of yeast over here that I just opened, so I thought maybe I would show you like how to do the yeast part of things. So you want 1.5 cups of water, okay? But we're going to put 2 spoons of yeast and 1/4, of course, there's a 1/4. And then we're going to make sure it's warm water, okay, not really hot, because otherwise it won't proof, okay? Now, the sugar part of things, it wants some sugar because those bacteria need to eat something. So, we don't do sugar around here. So what we are going to do is, it says 1 teaspoon, so get your teaspoon out and you're going to use honey instead, okay? Because I'm not a sugar person. You're not a sugar person. You know how that goes. I think I just caught the spoon in the... So we got our teaspoon of honey that we're going to be using in here. Use your finger. You can use this as your stir stick too. Okay. Meanwhile, you're gonna let this proof, okay? I let it proof for a while, okay? And I don't know if that's something that is okay to do, but I let it proof for a while because I want to make sure that, you know, all the stuff comes together. Proofing is going to be like bubbles on the top, making sure that it's working. This is a new yeast. So, to preserve this yeast, we got to put it in the freezer. I kind of wonder if we should be using like a seal type container for the freezer on this instead of a plastic bag like you usually do, because it'd probably be better. So since we're going to let it proof there for a while, usually about 30 minutes, you know, you can do it longer if you want. It just depends on if you're seeing bubbles or not. So I'm going to let it sit there for a minute. Here, let's get our honey out of the way. I have some honey from Costco actually on its way. So I'm going to start putting my yeast into these Tupperware containers because stuff falls out of my freezer all the time. So I think that that would probably be a better idea. And I don't use them anyway for anything. So we'll put 1 in there. And it'd probably be a good idea to label it. I wish I had a bigger one, but I don't. This is all I have, so we'll just have to work with it. And then I would probably take your yeast, and it has all the directions on it, like tablespoon wise and stuff. And the kind that you use, I always get this one. It's from Costco. You can fold the bag up and put it on top, just so that you know, like, and remember what kind of yeast it is, and know all the tablespoons and stuff. But I mean, that's completely up to you. This would be like if you're a new person at the whole thing. But sometimes I get confused on stuff, so I like to keep it there because I'm always making bigger batches for other reasons. So then you would pop this into your freezer and keep it in your freezer. And so every time you needed some yeast, you just pull it out. Okay. Meanwhile, popping it into the freezer might be a difficult thing, but we'll figure it out. There we go. So it's in my freezer. So now we're just waiting on this thing to proof. So I will come back when we're all ready to go for all the cups and stuff. I'm gonna transfer this into a different type of bowl too. This is the only bowl that I had at this point in time. So I'm gonna put this in my proofing spot. My proofing spot is always over here on this area over here, because it's always warmer over in this area. So, and I've got the heater on today. So the honey that I usually get, I just happen to have some extra honey just in case, you know, is this bucket from Costco. And this is the kind of honey that I do, and I'm not sponsored by them, but I like the blackberry flavor of the honey. There's just a little bit, maybe if I melt it, I could put it in the rest in the other bucket when it comes. It should be here next week or today. I don't know. Something's coming today. I don't know which thing's coming today. But anyway, so that's going to be the start of all that stuff. Get my charged batteries out of here. So we'll come back and then we'll start making our dough for our pretzels, okay? Just a second. Alright guys, so we're back, and it proofed after about 20 to 30 minutes. It just depends on the day, you know. It looks all foamy in there is what happens. So you want to get your bread dough, you know, mixer thingy out. And we're going to put about 4 cups or so. There's one. Two. Three. Four. And we're going to turn this on high. And for binding agent, we're going to have to use some eggs here for our bread. So I'm going to put that in there right now. And then we're going to stop our machine. Kind of, sort of. Get our scrapers ready to go. And we're going to add a little bit of salt, like a teaspoon. Okay, let's see our consistency here. It's been going for a while. So today I added 5 eggs to this. It's going to differ on everybody's climate. It's winter time, so, and my eggs weren't very fresh either, so that could be what it was. So I'm gonna put 5 eggs on there, but you know, you guys can kind of make that determination too when you're working with your dough, whether or not that's something that you're going to need or not. Next thing I'm going to do is we're going to remove our mixer here. So you want to make sure that your counter is nice and dry. And you can take whatever you want. You can use tapioca starch, which that's what I'm going to be doing. Some tapioca flour. It just works better for kneading. I'm going to take this out. Excuse me. Since we're not dealing with gluten, this is going to be a whole other thing, okay? It's not going to be as sticky. I'm going to stick that in there. I'm going to take my avocado oil, put it over the top. Put it around the bottom. Okay, so it stays nice and moist. And then you can take a wet towel if you want, preferably a hot one. And just let it sit like that in a cool or a warm place. Okay, I'm going to set it over here because this is my favorite place to go. Meanwhile, we're going to do a couple things to get ready. We're going to get our pot of boiling water going. So you're going to take your pot of boiling water. Move this out of the way so it doesn't get melted. You're going to take 2/3 cups of baking soda. Into boiling water. And then you're going to get out a parchment sheet. Which we don't have, so we're going to use this. This is what we're going to use. Okay, we're going to let that boil, okay? And while that's boiling, we're going to let that bread dough sit over here so that it's getting ready to go. Meanwhile, we're going to come back over here where our rolling station is going to be. We're going to make sure everything's all nice and dry. We're going to get our egg out again. And I use Kroger or Kirkland's eggs. These are the organic ones. And I'm going to take just a couple of them out because you never know how many you're going to need. So 1, 2. Okay. And then these ones, you know, will get transferred into a container eventually. I gotta wash out the other container, you know, sanitary wise. You want to get a bowl out or some sort of container. And I think that we're probably going to need a lot. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to separate my eggs. And for me, it's easier to do like the egg whites on one. So I'm not going to do anything anyway. Alright, so I used 2 eggs up. Put these aside. You're going to take your yolk. And a spoon or something. Mix it together. Okay, and I'm going to use a couple tablespoons of water in there. Like this. Make sure it's cold water, guys. That should be a good. And that's going to be used for the top sheet. We're going to use this to paint on the top before we put it into the baking part of things. Okay, if you have one of these guys, I love this thing. I got it in my baking stuff, but it works really well. So we're going to use this to bake on or put on. And then I've got my extra eggs over here just in case we need to make more, depending on how many it's going to make. I think probably since we're working with cassava flour, it's going to be easier to make pretzel bites than it is going to be to form a actual pretzel like loop. If you guys want to do that, you can, by all means. Hey, go get creative. But because of that factor, I think that we're probably going to be doing little bite-sized pieces. So our water is starting to boil because I used some hot water in there. So like I said, you want to take your dough, and just keep working it. like Play-Doh. Oh, we can make pretzels. Here we go. There you go. I made your pretzel. Okay. How do you get this thing in there? Don't touch it because it will fall apart, just to let you know. We're going to take my scoop, my spatula. Okay, there we go. Got my spatula. Oh, you guys fell. My spatula. Okay. Oh, you guys fell again. And the water is boiling. We're going to take this and we're going to set it in here. Okay, then you're going to take it up and put it on your tray. Okay, then you're going to keep doing that. There's my pretzel. Here's my bubble. Stick it in there for a few minutes. I'm going to make another one real fast. Just kind of, if you have help, that would be nice, you know. Then come over here. There we go. Alright, I'm going to stick this one in there real fast. I'm just leaving the spatula in there for help. And we're going to do our next one here. And then if you want to do bite-sized pieces, you could just, you know, roll them up like this and just couldn't do bite-sized the pretzels, but it looks like it can. So they're not the most perfect thing in the world, but they're homemade, and that means something, right? Alright, let's go take the other one out real fast here. There we go. Alright, get this one. This one kind of got deformed. There we go. Share from over here. Make that a little rounder. There we go. I'm gonna stick this guy like that. I know it works though. I know it's weird, but it works. See, and as you go along, you just get better at it. See? You just keep getting better at it. So, it's like clay modeling, you know? Okay, let's go check on this one. Ah, it fell off. Where'd it go? There it is. I saved it. This is like my best one yet. Alright, let's go make some more. Okay, so after we have all of them done, you're going to come over here on your dish, pan, whatever, and you're going to coat everything with an egg wash on everything. For all you vegetarians out there, I don't know that this is going to work for you. Maybe you could use that vegetarian substitute for egg, okay? And then you sprinkle your favorite salt that you want on top of it. I couldn't find any coarse salt, so I'm just going to use some Himalayan pink salt on it today. And that will be kind of like will be a little different. Okay. It's pretty strong, so you don't want to put a ton on there. Alright, sorry guys, my film just cut out like no other. I have no idea. I'm probably going to have to download this before I start moving on to my other projects today. But after you're done with the egg wash and the salt, whatever kind of salt you want, I'm using the pink Himalayan salt. You go ahead and make sure that your oven is set at 350, and we're going to put this in a baked oven at 350 probably for almost 45 minutes or so, or until you get that crispy brown topping on the top of it, you know, that we're looking for. And hopefully we get that chewy center from putting this into the water before we bake it. And I'm putting a lot of egg wash on these guys, lots. Okay, and then we'll bake these in the oven here after the rest of them are done. I'll come back and I'll show you how they look. And we're going to be using a cashew cheese sauce today that is from Study. We are not by any means, shape or form sponsored by them. But I do make a little bit of money off of doing stuff from Amazon. So I got my cassava flour, my bakage bag, and my tapioca starch from Amazon. And I'll leave some links below where you can get that. They're big, gigantic, enormous bags of it. And so far it's working out pretty good. So, and it's a lot more than what you buy in the store. And it wasn't that expensive either. You can do a, what is it called? A subscription for it. And you can buy, like, I think this is a 10 or a 5-pound bag of it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see how this cassava turns out. So we'll find out here in a minute. So I'll be back in just a few. For you, it'll only be a couple seconds though. Okay guys, I was way too busy today, so I decided that it would be a good idea. Look at these pretzels, by the way. Came out perfectly. So I would recommend this recipe. Look at this. Even though I made little balls because I had leftover. Look at that. It's made out of cassava. Can you believe it? It tastes just like a pretzel. This extra right here, don't worry about it. It's just part of the egg wash that was on there. So just take that off. Okay. It tastes awesome. Like I said, I couldn't find any of the salt crystal thingies or whatever. So, no worries at all. They came out perfect. This is my first one that I did. It was really not the greatest, but the other ones look pretty cool. So, just take your plate here. And I got some cashew. It's called core rind. It's a cheesy sauce. And I got this because it's made out of cashews and really good stuff, just like what we would make. And it's going to take this, pour it right in here for my cheese sauce. Which tastes really good. Yummy, yummy. I'm gonna get this again. So you take this, put it in the microwave for a few minutes. refrigerator. Now it's all nice and toasty like cheese sauce is. And there you got your pretzels and your cheese sauce, and it's all gluten-free and it's yummy, and there's no dairy. Well, yeah, there's eggs, but that's it. And then so good. So you definitely will have to try this. So thanks for watching today. Food Aspire Home and Garden. And please subscribe, guys. Hit that notification bell. And that is so we can make these wonderful meals again. And please have an inspiring day. And I hope you inspire somebody good in your life to do something well. And we'll see you next time on Food Aspire Home and Garden. Have a wonderful day.